Hello, this is Dee from the Fishing Gardener, back at it again. Okay, so the subject to today is shaping our stone fruit trees. Okay, so there's no fruit on the stone fruit trees because fruiting season is over for these trees. So this is the time, I actually did this last month and I just tip them some, but this is the time where we shape them. And you see how that's opened up right there to make sure that sun gets in. Also wanting them strong branches to, the branches to thicken out and get strong. So these are our plum trees. There's a Scarlet Beauty. And you notice we shape them all so they can be up, You see this long base right here? So I don't want the fruits to, we had some of them down here. I don't want the fruits leaning down here because the tree is, stringy. So shaping them and tipping them, giving them this strong, as you can see that right there, strong base. And what we do is tip them off the top. And we already went inside and had prune those one. So when it comes back to springtime, you got that middle open, and you'll notice they're all shaped the same, right? And these are all the plum trees. Here's a pear tree. So a pear tree, if you notice, it grows a little bit closer together. So we still got in there to open it up as much as possible, as a pear tree just grows closer together. That's another stone fruit tree. And we're doing this because there's no fruit on the trees. They have finished fruiting for the season. So I'm getting them ready for dormancy. And you see the inside of that and how we open them up. And when they get to a certain height, we just tip them. And it forces, by me cutting them, it has forced the branches to get thicker and thicker. And that's what I want. So when hurricane season comes, it's not whipping the branches all over the place. Okay? This is a Calamendin right here. And we had to pick this one up from out of the ground, and we had to put it back in the pot because it was doing horrible. So when we had it in the pot, it was big and fluffy and full. We put it in the ground. We left it there for about 7 months. It was just doing horrible. So it's back in the pot, so it'll regrow. But while we were at it, we went ahead and opened it up, the branches up, because the branches were pretty clustered together here. So we opened that up anyway. This was a perfect time, even with the fruits on it, since we had to repot it anyway, to open it up. And as you come around, you see we have another pear tree. And you see how pears grow. They have a distinctive growth pattern, and they mostly grow straight up, but you're still wanting to open it up and just give it some room. Okay, so that's what we also have the persimmons. Okay, so this tree didn't fruit this year, so we wanted to concentrate on growth. And sometimes persimmon trees are very whippy, and what I mean by whippy is they look like string beans. Their branches look like long string bean patterns or whatever, and they whip back and forth. So we noticed that last year when it came to the hurricane. For survival, we tipped them so they can get thicker. And what we want is this right here, and the thickness of the branches so they're not whipping around. Okay. And also this Pakistani mulberry. Okay, so you see I had this going the same way. It's going to be a big tree, and you see the trunk. So once again, this one right here, I tipped it, and it's just growing like crazy. And I just tipped it like 10 days ago. And look at all of that new growth up there. See all them trying to pull it down. That new growth up there. So that's what we do with a lot of the trees that have no fruit on them. So we go ahead and start preparing them for dormancy to make sure they're nice and strong. The limbs are nice and strong, and in order for the limbs to get nice and strong, we tip them, open them up, so when they come back in, they're ready. Okay, so that's just another little bit of info that what we do for our garden in the backyard. Again, go ahead and do your research. This is what we do for our garden, and it works for us, for the fishing gardeners in our backyard. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.